Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Because it's my birthday and I'm 27 now, and that makes me almost 30, which I'm okay and comfortable with saying, because hopefully by the time I'm 30, I'm trying to do the whole placebo effect, like tell myself I'm 30. By 30, my life will be a lot more put together than it is now. So I'm just going to claim the almost 30 tag. Does that make sense? I hope you're following me. And if it's your first time tuning in, welcome to A Reason to Talk, hosted by me, Anjuli, the birthday girl. Okay. I am a huge fan of birthdays. I don't know what it is, because it's not like my birthdays are ever anything super special. In fact, this year I'm spending my birthday alone in my bathtub. So it's not like I do anything fantastical for them, but I just love birthdays. You know what I love? I love the fact that because my birthdays are nothing special, it allows for other things to be more special. Like, it allows for, if people send me a surprise or something, then it's just even more special, because my birthday, I don't know. I can't rationalize it. All right, I'm trying to, but I just think birthdays are just a great time. Okay. So around the time of my birthday, I tend to get a little bit reflective. I tend to be a little bit more weepy eyed, because I'm just reflecting on just kind of, my past mistakes and where I wish things have gotten better, the things that I have learned, though, because we're always making progress. And I wanted to, I have a podcast now, so now I can reflect publicly. Isn't that great? So 26 was an interesting year because 2020 is happening during it. It's also the first year, I think, that I honestly haven't had any in real life friends that I was actively seeing. I mean, I had people in passing that I would go and see, but nothing. I just don't have the close friends that I used to have in the past. And that's not like a sad thing or anything. It's just like life changes, people move on, yada, yada, yada. So that means I spent 26 alone, which means that I got to really kind of get to know myself. And when you get to know yourself, much like when you get to know other people, you get to learn the things you don't like about people as well as the things you do like. And 26 was the year of figuring out what I do and don't like about myself, and then how I want that to relate to my surroundings, like my environment and people around me. I definitely have been enforcing a lot more with boundaries because in my past 26 years, I've been very, very bad about boundaries and very bad about enforcing them. And honestly, I should just do a whole episode about boundaries, because that is truly the theme of my life. I am no boundaries Benny. I am just running around here letting people cross my boundaries and crossing other people's boundaries. It's just a terrible time, and I'm so glad I'm going into 27 knowing better, honestly. I also learned that a lot of people just talk, and it's so fascinating, because I am one of those people that is very, very, I'm always looking up to people. I'm always looking at people for guidance. And this was the year I finally figured out that so many people, especially men, especially white men, just talk for no reason. They just talk and talk like everything is fact, and they're not even saying anything important. And so I've gotten really good at just being yeah, this person's saying some bullshit, and I don't care about what this person is saying anymore, and I don't have to look at these people as my guiders anymore. You know, I don't need guiders anymore. That's probably one of the greatest things I am coming into 27 with, is the fact that I'm no longer looking at people as if they are almost parental, or, you know, like people that are my elders, you know. I'm not saying I know everything. That is not what that statement means. It means, though, that I can definitely trust in myself a lot more than I have in the past. And other people are great for advice, but I don't have to take what they say as Bible. I don't have to take what they say and then run off with it. You know, I don't have to hitch myself into every train that presents itself, which is very, very nice, because that's how you end up making a life that's not yours. You know, when you just start using everybody else's advice and everybody else's guidance as Bible, I mean, then you're not following your own compass. And then when you do have to start relying on your own compass, you're very unsure. And that's probably at the point where I'm at now, is I'm starting to rely on my own internal compass, but like, it's hard. You know, it's hard to stand firm in yourself. And that's probably going to be the biggest theme for myself in 27, is now I you know, in 26, I learned that I don't have to look at other people as if they all know better than me. Now 27, I can start looking at myself and using the things that I've learned, and, you know, just really trusting my own intuition to build a life that I want for myself. So in starting to follow my own internal compass, that's how, you know, partially how this podcast just came to be, because this was something I really wanted to do for a really long time. But I felt that other people would look down upon me. You know, I felt like it was just going to become a thing where people are going to be like, well, you're not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. And I do have a problem with staying committed to things. So that is definitely, but I realized I have a problem staying committed to things because I don't really want to do it. If I don't really want to do something, then I cannot make myself do it. It's just, and I know people say that, but I mean it. Like, I'm very stubborn, and I will not get myself to do something if I do not want to do it. And I really like doing this podcast, so I'm doing this. Another thing I'm doing is I started back up my OnlyFans. Now, I have mentioned this. I'm going to talk about it one day, my weird thing about sex work and whatnot, but I started my OnlyFans because I need to make money. Like, I don't make anything from any of the various pursuits that I do. And you see, I work really hard. I just don't make anything from it. So I need to make some money somewhere. And OnlyFans is a really great way for me to do it. I'm really great at OnlyFans. I'm really great at what I do. And if you want to check it out, you know, shameless plug, you can just go onto my website and it'll link you there. Anyway, but I needed to follow my internal compass that told me, well, if you're going to start OnlyFans, you need to do it in a way that you're going to stick with it. And the only way I'm going to be able to stick with it is by making content I genuinely want to make. And right now, I've only been doing it for about a week, but I'm doing pretty damn well. And it's probably because I'm making the content I want to make. So I am pushing my content hard because I want my content in as many eyes as possible, even if it's not making money. Now, I'm doing OnlyFans because I need money. So it's not it's not like I'm trying to not make money, but the more eyes it's in front of, the more likely it is going to make money. And it's, I don't want to say it's immediate return, but it's definitely quicker return than, like, with this podcast, you have to wait for advertisers and whatnot. And usually that comes with a certain amount of views. Like, there's a lot more factors that play into this podcast making money than OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a little bit more immediate in the fact that there's already a product there. You just have to sell the product. And that was kind of a whole other tangent, but the point is, my internal compass is telling me, hey, go do this. This is what you want to do. You're really good at it. Go do it, you know? And that is what I'm really, really gonna cling on to in this 27th year. Is just more of, like, you know, telling, like, even Randy, when he asked what I want for dinner, sometimes I say I don't know when I really do know, but I just don't want to be forward in my wants, you know. I don't really know why, but I just don't. And now I'm just gonna tell him, like, dude, let's do this. And if he says no, then he says no. But like, you know, there's nothing wrong with stating your wants and your needs and just going with your intuition, you know, that part of your body that says, I want this. I also learned that there is a difference between just being attracted to something and then actually wanting to engage in said attraction. You don't have to kiss everything you like, you know? That sounds like such a, I'm just going to leave it right there, you know? Like, just drop that piece of knowledge and you do what you will with that piece of knowledge. I think, though, truly, honestly, if I had to give advice to my younger self, I would tell her to trust your gut. Because, and I know that's like such a cliche thing to say, but like truly, honestly, when I follow, this is how I know, okay, that this is a real thing. When I'm truly by myself, like when I don't have friends around me, when I'm single, my life may not be as lavish as it appears to be right now, but I'm definitely a lot happier because I'm just doing whatever I want to do. I'm just following myself because there's no other voices in there. But when I'm surrounded by more people, I tend to have other voices in my ear. I tend to ask other voices to put things in my ear, and my life just starts to teeter in ways that are not really the way that I want them to go. And I start relying on other people more than myself. And it's just like my life just starts to take twists and turns that shouldn't really even be happening, but they do. But when I trust myself, like right now where I'm starting to trust myself and just doing the things that I want to do, my life feels more mine and it feels more in control. And honestly, it just does better. Like my life literally just does infinitely better. And that might not be better for you, or it might not be better for Tom, or it may not be better for like my parents or something, but it's better for me. And ultimately, this is my life. And that's the advice I'd give to my younger self is ultimately, this is your life and you have to follow yourself. And it's not wrong to ask people for advice, but you need to understand that you're the utmost authority on what goes on in your life. And all of the things that you rely on other people for, they can't truly customize that for you and the way that your life is supposed to flow. They can tell you about how their life went and they can try to give you advice from their standpoint and their eyes, but ultimately you are the only one with the exact factors that are going to play into how that advice is going to play out. You know, so you have to trust yourself and use your own intuition to guide yourself in what you're supposed to be doing. That's what I'm starting to do now. And like I said, it's a constant process. It's not something that you just wake up and go, no, I'm going to trust my gut. No, it's a process. But when I do follow my gut, I can tell. Like it just feels better. And even if the mistakes happen, and they do happen, I take my brief blow and then I go, okay, so what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? But they're not as devastating because it doesn't feel like when your life already feels like it's not yours and then you have a mistake on top of that, you have to live for you and you have to follow your own gut. And I don't know, that's just, I feel like I got really passionate there for a second. That's just the advice that I would give to my younger self. What else happened to me this year? All I can think about is 2020. I feel like this year I also ended up getting closer to my parents. There's a brief period of time where my parents and I were at a definite falling out and things were just not looking too great. And it kind of feels like this year, now I just FaceTime my dad and we just talk. So that's nice. That's definitely a nice place to be in. And if they say stuff I don't like, then I just hang up, you know. Honestly, I just go, all right, well, I gotta go now. And I don't fight with them really anymore because what's the point? Honestly, sometimes I feel like there's a time and a place to argue, and it's not as often as people like to do it. And with my parents, sometimes it's just not worth it. And it happens less and less now. I don't know if it's just because I'm becoming older and I'm starting to see things more from their perspective or what. But yeah, I'm getting tight with the fam again, and it's nice. I'm not gonna lie. All my siblings now are graduated from college or starting grad school, and that's pretty cool and also weird because I still look at them like they're teenagers or babies sometimes even, and it's so strange to think that they are living adult lives. I don't know. I feel like this year was mostly just about me and just the transformation on the inside as opposed to strict events. I think in the past I used to be able to like list off like strict events that had happened in my reflections, but it seems like this year everything is marked by the great breakdown of 2020 and just realizing how, I don't want to say jaded, but just how blinded I had become by everybody else's, this is it, okay, I become so blinded by what everybody else told me I was, and this is becoming one of my biggest like pet peeves about my past, is I let people tell me who they thought I was, and I just became the personification of that. And now I had the great breakdown of 2020, and now I'm slowly starting to come into who I actually am, and then not giving a shit if you don't like it, really. So I just really hope that for this year, for the 27th year, I would love to have my podcast monetized to some degree, which could also come from my YouTube as well. I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to be able to continue to take my photos. I realize like I really love photography, and it's because I just love looking at things. I didn't know how it never clicked with me earlier. I like a clutter. Honestly, like in my house, I kind of like clutter, but I like clutter that I strategically, like, you know how people put magazines in like weird stacks on purpose in like showrooms? Like, I really like just like organized chaos to some degree, and because it's beautiful. Like, I like looking at things as if they're their own piece of artwork, and I want to just take pictures of everything that I find beautiful everywhere and share that. And I want to make myself into art pieces because that's fun. And so I hope that I can find some way to continue to do that and, you know, not be poor. Honestly, it'd be really nice if I could stop being poor at the age of 27. You know, that would be nice. And I think I just want to really, really, really learn to trust my gut, you know, and say no, say yes, say what I want, say what I don't want. I feel like I'm finally starting to come into my own, and that is a great feeling to have, finally. I used to always think I was so behind in life, but now I just realize things happen in their own time. And I've been so gracious and so blessed in the fact that people have allowed me just throughout life, whether they came and gone, everybody has allowed me to come into my own on my own time and make my own mistakes. And no person I've ever been around has ever pressured me to do anything, even if they don't agree with it. I have just put that on myself. And it's nice to recognize that I have been allowed a certain amount of blessing to be able to kind of just figure shit out. And on that note, I think this reflection is done. I really don't even know if this is like a good, complete episode. I'm going to be honest here. But I really just wanted to come on here and talk. I've been so busy with OnlyFans. I miss just chatting for this podcast. And I really wanted to talk about my birthday because I just love my birthday. I love all birthdays, and I think all birthdays should be special. I really just wanted to spread some happy holiday cheer. Like, my birthday's a holiday. Woo! So I think that's it. Like I said, if you want to check out my OnlyFans, I'd be so freaking grateful. The link is in my website. It's also just onlyfans.com/Anjuli, which is spelled ANJULI. And I post there pretty much every day. Maybe sometimes I'll miss like 1 or 2 days, but really I post there just about every single day, which is probably why I'm so like busy, honestly. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, please stay healthy out there. Please wear your freaking mask still, because America is literally so far behind and we're still stuck here in freaking COVID land. So wear your damn mask, and try to find some piece of happiness somewhere, even if just temporarily, in like a corn dog. I ate 3 yesterday and that was good. And Randy actually just told me hot dogs kill people. So that gives me much to think about. But until next time, love you, BBs. Bye.